Hello, my name is Caleb Smith with the Rock Miner newspaper. I'm coming to you from a familiar couch but with a different set of bookcases behind me on July 11th, 2020. We have a lot of things to go over today, starting in Poland, where um, on Sunday there is a tight presidential runoff. Bonus points to you if you can name either of the um, two candidates, be it populist incumbent President Andrzej Duda or his liberal pro-European Union challenger, Rafał Trzaskowski, who is the mayor of Warsaw. Also today, President Donald Trump wore a mask in public for the first time during the pandemic. Did so during a visit to Walter Reed National Military Medical Center. Also today, Walt Disney World in Orlando, Florida, reopened after nearly 4 months of closure. That came with new rules in place, such as required mask, temperature checks. The Walt Disney Resorts are also hosting a bubble of sorts for NBA players. The idea is that members of the National Basketball Association have taken over the ESPN Wild World of Sports complex, where there's plenty of other facilities and rooms and whatnot where they hope to resume the basketball season that got interrupted. One of the changes that came in the interim was that the NBA approved certain jerseys that have social justice messages on the back that players can wear during this truncated rapid fire end to the season. Though today, at a press conference, LeBron James said that his thoughts on social justice can't be contained on the back of a jersey, so he won't be wearing one of them. Saying, quote, "It was no disrespect to the list that was handed down to all the players. I commend anyone that decides to put something on the back of their jersey. It's just something that didn't seriously resonate with my mission, with my goal." In other sports news, you may have heard late yesterday how the Pac-10 football conference is joining the Big Ten and eliminating non-conference games. This will be for the fall amid growing concerns about the coronavirus. That will have an impact on fans of the Cowboys, as that means that UW's highly anticipated football matchup with Utah has been canceled. Since Utah is now part of the Pac-12, the game that was set for September 19th in War Memorial Stadium, that's not happening this season. So we'll have to wait a little bit longer to see the Cowboys, who went 8-5 last year, see how well they would do against Utah, which went 11-3. Quoting UW Athletics Director Tom Berman, "This was an announcement that we kind of expected. It wasn't anything that was a huge surprise to us, given the other recent announcements by other conferences." When Wild Sports, one of our sister publications, reached out for clarification of whether the game would be rescheduled, they were told that it is just too early to tell. The game that was supposed to come in about 2 months, that was part of a home-and-home series, and the Utes and Cowboys are still scheduled to play in Salt Lake City on 2025. While we're still on hovering around the coronavirus, let's go through some figures. We're up to 1,488 lab confirmed cases in Wyoming, according to the Wyoming Department of Health. Of that number, 1,085 have recovered. We also have 351 probable cases. Of that amount, 276 have said to be recovered. We also have 21 people who have died COVID-19 related deaths. In Sweetwater County, we're looking at 126 lab confirmed cases and 10 probable cases. Nationwide, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention are reporting that total cases are now up to 3,173,212, which is 66,281 more than yesterday. Overall death toll now sits at 133,666 people, which is 811 more than yesterday. Globally, Johns Hopkins University is reporting we're at 12,679,967 total cases, with an overall death toll of 564,394 people. And global recoveries are now at 6,980,613. Looking forward to see that number surpass 7 million soon. One thing that came right before deadline yesterday was Sweetwater County School District number 1 announcing that they've prepared their recommendations for reopening schools. They'd put together a re-entry Smart Start task force, and they'll be having a school board meeting starting at 6 p.m. on July 15th, which you can watch on the school district's YouTube channel and get an idea of what the school board's going to do with the recommendations that will be presented by Superintendent Kelly McGovern. Right now, the school district number 1 is planning on starting schools on August 17th and plan on doing it in person. Under the current statewide guidelines, we'd be allowed to do so. The report, which I'd encourage you to see, so you can see a copy of it on the school district website, or we appended a copy at rocketminer.com for your ease and edification. It follows the framework provided by the state. Previously, it's been noted that their states are the state guidelines are that all school districts should be preparing 3 tiers of tier 1, which is where we're at right now, which would be allowing full in-person instruction with social distancing in place, trying to spread people out and increased focus on cleanliness. There will be some cases where extra efforts will be required. And noted in the online comments, more than a few people noted focusing on the fact that parents are being encouraged to screen their students before school, looking for symptoms, a temperature, or if anybody else in their household does. In the same way that the guidelines has always been, if your kid's sick, don't send them to school. In addition, there will be encouraged use of wearing face coverings to the greatest extent possible for activities. They note that players will refrain from wearing the cloth face mask during strenuous activity. But otherwise, face covering should be worn by coaches, staff, officials, parents, and spectators whenever 6 feet of separation cannot be maintained. So, in theory, when we're all back at Wolves Stadium or Tiger Stadium to see football this season, anticipate a few more masks being out and about, not just the crash helmets, so to speak. People who have questions are encouraged to submit them to the school district beforehand. I anticipate that there'll be a lot of public interest and a lot of people watching this meeting online. And if you're interested, there'll be a Sweetwater County School District number 1 Recreation Board meeting prior. That will start at 4 p.m. Like I said, the regular meeting, that's going to be closer to 6. So keep your eye on that. Also this weekend in local news, we had Second Saturday in downtown Rock Springs, which has been one of those once a month events that the Rock Springs Main Street Urban Renewal Agency has been partnering with local residents, businesses, individuals, and groups to try to just spur some extra investment and interest and commerce in downtown Rock Springs. It started out at 10 a.m. this morning with a pet parade. Um, there were dozens and dozens of dogs of all shapes, sizes, um, furriness, friendly. Um, most of them friendly. There were one or two who you could tell that they'd not been doing as much socializing, a little bit late, and were just a little bit hesitant. But there were plenty of friendly dogs, and a lot less barking than you'd think. It was interesting to see them and their owners interact. Um, there was water and other amenities spaced out throughout the route that kind of circled um, around downtown. If you have the chance, please check out the pictures and the photos online. Um, if you're also downtown during a part of the day, hopefully you got to hear Chandran Trumbull, who was um, performing on Broadway. Um, I certainly enjoyed the time that I was within hearing distance. You can always check her out online at shandontrumbull.com. There was also multiple artist pop-up displays in local shops um, up and down the short little strip. I myself got this um, bit by Deborah Soule, who's actually the director at the Community Fine Arts Center and has lots of um, great animal works. I got some magnets too, but they're on the refrigerator, and you don't want to see that. That's a mess over there. Um, Nice to support artists with their work and their creativity. I hope others you have added to your collection, whether it's the treasury that you keep up here, or maybe you're able to take some original works or reproductions home with you. There was also a fairy hunt outside the library where it was interesting to see the library staff had placed 12 little cutouts of fairies amongst um, just the grassy, gardeny area out in front of the Rock Springs Library, the downtown library, as I know many of you know it as. And it was interesting to see kids trying to find them all, especially since the staff and the fairies were a little bit tricky. You had to look hard to find all 12. Um, it's just nice to see people looking for ways to still connect um, and make people smile and make people um, get a chance to enjoy the music, enjoy the colors and the visions of our most creative residents, um, the friendliness of our hounds, um, and just what we can share. And even as we try to, we're still encouraged to do so considerately and as safely as we possibly can. This has been Caleb Smith coming to you on behalf of the Rocket Miner, wishing you a good day and a safe tomorrow.